Welcome to DJ 360 Word. How's your day going?
Oh, it's going great. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me. I'm really appreciative of this
Had a great summer?
opportunity.
Yeah.
This summer was really on point for me, for sure.
Any traveling? Oh.
Yeah, I was in LA for about a month, and then I was in Atlanta for about a week or so.
I think I
And
saw you at a resort, right? At a resort, something like that.
oh, that was
You were
recently.
in a
That was in
pool somewhere.
Sojo.
Oh,
Yeah, that
okay.
was in Edgewater. It's a
Okay.
spa.
Oh,
And
okay.
that
How
was
was it?
it was great because it was an opportunity for me to just simply like
Unwinding.
unwind and woosah and like
Yeah.
come back to center. I feel like that's what my whole summer was about,
Okay.
was just kind of like refocusing and getting myself back to where I needed to be. Like in the summer, I like broke my 5 year depression. Like
Okay.
so after my grandmother passed 5 years ago, I was really like lost and just really struggling. Um, and it just gave me an opportunity to be like, it's okay, you can get through this, there's a next step for you, and everything that you need is within you, so get back to that.
Okay.
And so that's why this summer was so pivotal for me.
All right. So, let's. This is your first time here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back from day one, right?
Okay.
Oh, how was your upbringing? I'm assuming you were born in the DMV, right?
Yeah, I was born here. I was born in DC at Washington Hospital Center, so I'm legitimately a DC
DC native.
native that lived and grew up in Prince George's County. So you know
Okay.
what I'm saying, that part is
Yeah.
something that's a little different. But
Okay,
yeah.
so how was that upbringing for you? I'm talking at the early age from 0 to 7, if you can
0 to 7.
remember. Like,
Oh no, I remember, Eric. I
okay,
definitely remember. So
was it peaceful? Like really dark ages of your life? Considering you live
mm,
in DC with the violence, the environment, not being too.
no, see, I was born in DC. My grandfather had an apartment off of D Street in Southeast.
Okay,
And it was a 2 bedroom apartment, and I loved it dearly. My mom raised my brother and I in Clinton, Maryland, in a single family home. So everything in that regard was good. I had a lot of support and love. Like things didn't kind of change for me until I turned 10 when my grandfather passed away. That's when things really changed. But
okay,
at the time, my father and my mom were still married and lived in the same household with me, and my grandmother was, very involved. So was my grandfather. So from 0 to 7, life was amazing for me.
okay.
I had no regrets.
So during that time period, right?
Yeah.
How was the musical influence for you?
Well,
What did you experience?
it was very strong, primarily because my godfather, who has since passed, he's the late Reverend Donald Vales, is a huge gospel kind of influence, and so I was always surrounded by gospel artists, like
Okay,
major artists. So at a young age, I recorded. My first time ever recording was with him at Ebenezer AME Church. Um, I sang background for Kurt Franklin. Just it's a plethora of gospel artists that I was able to kind of be in support of. And as I grew older, like as a teenager, I was singing with Ernest Pugh, Byron Cage, Yolanda Adams, Fred Hammond. So I was really engrossed into like
gospel. Yeah.
that gospel era.
So
Um,
did you sing in a choir throughout that time?
all
Or
my
no, it
life,
was
all my life I had to fight. Yeah, I was singing in the choir all from as soon as I could. They had like a little baby choir,
okay.
children's choir, and they had little children choir robes,
Yeah.
and I was singing in the choir. And I'll never get my first solo was actually with my brother. We did a duo
Yeah.
solo together. And so yeah, I mean I've always been in church and singing in the choir. So that's kind of like the inception. But the story that I've told on numerous occasions is that my mom was driving, and there was a gospel song that came on the radio, and I was just randomly singing in the background, like in the car. And she was like, "Oh my God, young, you sound." Well, she didn't say young, but she said, "Oh my God, you sound halfway decent." And I was like, "Okay, whatever," you know what I'm saying? And the story that I don't tell is that my mom put my brother and I into piano lessons. And so I started playing the piano when I was very young. But unfortunately, because I didn't practice as often as my grandmother felt that I should practice because she was paying for those lessons. I was at Shirley Abel's piano school, and she was like, "Well, y'all not playing, y'all not practicing, so I'm not gonna be paying all this money for these lessons." And so I stopped playing the piano when I was like 8 or so. Oh, okay. And so I don't really play the piano now. I'm just learning how to pick out chords. Oh, okay. And I can hear some things, but like as I've gotten older, like right now in this season, I've put a lot of my time into vocal lessons to just get myself better. And also, thank God, I have friends that really are good and have helped me along the way. Like my musical director, Deanna Hawkins, like when she has time, she'll be able to tell me like, no, this is an E flat. No, you on the wrong key. No. So that's stuff that helps me because, you know, iron sharpens iron. And so, you know, that's something I'm definitely grateful for because, you know, I can't read, but I surely can. My ear's getting better, and that's really what's most important.
Okay, so where did you develop the artistry for acting?
I guess just being a tourist. That was just something that was innate. My mama always thought that I was doing the most for whatever reason. Yeah. But my mom had gotten me into drama at church. There was a play where I was playing like a camel. Mm-hmm. And then I went from playing a camel to actually like playing one of the like people that's in the play. I'm being facetious, but you know, I got a lot of my background and support and learning from church. Okay. And that was that. And I was playing in other things, but nothing like major. I just started acting like seriously this year. But in 2011, I had my first television appearance on TLC for the Carlos Bakery. It's a show that kind of talks about, it's in Hoboken, New Jersey, and it's basically a bakery show, and it shows the Italian family and how they're doing stuff. And so my best friend and I had a role, and that was my first acting role on television. And then this year is when I started being in stage plays, and that was as a result of the Boot Up remix. People heard that song and was like, "Hey, we would love to have you in our stage play," and I just fell in love with it.
Okay, so yeah, like we were saying off camera, you know, the church is the foundation of who you are today. Yeah. Okay, all right. So that's usually that's what I try to see, the influence of, you know, what people are doing now, you know, as far as the early age of their life is concerned. Yeah. So let's talk about the actual artistry, right? Okay.